Queen with the Mischief makers, and I'm going to show you how I make the 3D following eyes. The first thing you need is the embroidery or cross stitch mesh. I use vinyl weave. I think the brand is called Aida. I find it at Michael's, Joann's. You can find it online. I'll have a link to that below. I've already painted it. I use acrylic paint. This is just a nice flat green color, black for the eyes, and the little dashes you see are glow-in-the-dark and UV acrylic paint. The back I've painted completely black because, as you can see, maybe if it'll let me focus, the closer it is to your eyes, the better. And you can see through black a little easier than you can see through color because the color picks up light, and you can't see the black through the color. The next thing you need are foamies. I believe these are 6mm thick foamies or fun foam, EVA foam. I get them in the 8.5 by 11 inch sheets at Joann's, and then I cut them. This is a little over ½ inch thick. And then plastic, big secret. What I use for plastic are vertical blinds. They're easy to cut. I can punch a circle through them, and it's cheap. So cheap. I bought one pack and it's lasted me forever. Last thing that I use, and you can use scissors or an Exacto blade, but I went out and I got this punch. It's a circle punch. I think it's I want to say 1.5 inch circle punch. And that will cut through that plastic pretty easily anyway. The last thing you're going to need for your 3D eyes to give it the 3D effect is a border material. I like to use stiffened felt. Some people also like to use the foamies. That's what I used to use before I found out about this stuff, and this is great. Our first step is tracing the eye pattern onto the plastic. Since I'm using the blinds, so I like to trace it on the upper ridge. And then we're going to cut it out. You're going to want to use an old crummy pair of scissors for this. Don't use your nice fabric scissors. One of the reasons I really like this plastic is it's so easy to cut. It cuts like a firm cardstock, but it's very durable too, at least at this scale. It doesn't bend. One downfall you're going to have with using vertical blinds as your plastic is that you're limited on width, but most eyes I think it would work out fine for you. I've used it on 2D eyes, of course 3D eyes too. We're going to go ahead and use our punch. It usually has a protective cover over the bottom of it. When using a punch like this, you're also limited to how close you can get to the edge. For me it works, for you it might not. Some people like to use drills or just an Exacto knife and some sandpaper to get a nice smooth edge. Little probably punches right out. You have a perfectly smooth round eye. These also come in other shapes. You can do star punches, hearts, egg shapes. That's the next one I want to get. It's just so satisfying. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning was we're going to need some adhesive, and I like using E6000 to attach the mesh eyes to the back of the plastic because it's waterproof, and it being so close to your face, you sweat and there's vapors. You could use hot glue too, but this has lasted me, and it usually will last through a washing machine too if your head is washing machine safe. So we're going to take our eyes we painted. I always score the middle of mine so I know where it is when I'm putting the dots. Kind of decide how you want this to be placed. I'm thinking that since there is a tiny little bit of black that showed through, I'm going to put that where my eye highlight will most likely be. Get some E6000 and just smear it on the back all around the eye opening. And this stuff does dry pretty quick, so you want to get it on the back of your eye as quick as possible. Gotta let these dry. The next thing we're gonna work on while our eyes are drying is the eye rims. I got my Foamies and I cut them about 3/4 of an inch. We're gonna make a little groove along the bottom edge, and it's where our eyes are going to sit in. So to do that, we need another thing that I forgot to mention. You can use a little Exacto blade. These are snap-off blades. I hold the blade and you kind of keep your fingers still. Don't like, so kind of just hold the blade and then hold the blade right against your thumb. So you're gonna hit the bottom and it'll stay the same. It's hard to show you, but it'll stay the same, a nice straight distance away from the bottom edge the whole way down. And you don't want to cut all the way through. You only want a groove, maybe about halfway through the foam. So you can then take a look and you can see that you have a little groove. I think I want mine a little bit deeper. So very carefully, because you've already got your groove going, you don't want to cut all the way through. You can kind of see about how far the blade goes in. Now you got a little bit more of an opening. That's good. Okay, so we took a little break and now we're ready to assemble our eyes. They're nice and dried, so we're going to trim off the excess. Next, we're going to prep our foam and cut just the very end of it at a 45-degree angle. And that's so when this wraps all the way around the eye, it fits together nice. I'm going to wedge it in your little groove, and you want just a little bit of the eye plastic. Just enough so that when the foam goes all the way around, it has some eye still left to fit in that groove. I like to start with just about 1 inch wedged in there. We're going to take our hot glue gun and go right along that seam, and you really want to try not to bend the eye too much during this, because with the hot glue it can bend your plastic. With that nice and dry, we can keep going all the way around, wedging the plastic in that groove. I like to do this all kind of in one go. You don't have to, you can do it in little pieces. For me, it's just easier. Now that we got it all the way around, we're nice and flush at the end, and take our hot glue and go all the way around that groove. And again, really try not to bend that plastic. You want to get kind of up on top of the foam on the plastic to really encase that seam. And let it dry. Now that that's nice and dry, we're going to cut off this excess. And we're going to put a little hot glue in there to keep them together. We're not going to totally flood it, just get the edge. Put a little bit more hot glue on there. I went ahead and finished the other one off camera. So now you have your eyes, and these can go right in the head.